If you don't like puzzles, then you probably won't like Immortals Fenyx Rising. The original name of Immortals Fenyx Rising was Gods and Monsters, but Monster Energy drinks threatened a lawsuit. And to that I say, what the hell does one have to do with the other? It is impossible to mention Fenyx Rising without mentioning Zelda Breath of the Wild and or Assassin's Creed Odyssey, so I just won't. And while we're on the subject of Assassin's Creed, Fenyx Rising and Assassin's Creed Valhalla were released within a month of each other in 2020. Both games are made by Ubisoft. I personally think that all eyes were on Valhalla. Meanwhile, Immortals Fenyx Rising kind of slipped through the cracks a little bit. This is supposed to be a brutally honest review, so let's talk about the story. It's kind of dumb. It's really corny. It's really cheesy. It's not great. Every time things start to get a little too heavy on the drama, they'll throw a joke to kind of deflect it.
Phoenix discovered a mysterious door, but did not yet know how to open it.
Just God kick it down! Boom!
Mortals can't do that, O Zeus.
Ugh, mortals are the complete worst.
Looks like you've been loving yourself far too much. Oh, you might want to disinfect that toga.
The entire story is narrated by Prometheus and Zeus, and they're sort of having a back and forth conversation. They come and go, they have conversations as you're playing the game. The bad guy's name is Typhon, and Zeus locked Typhon underneath a mountain. Typhon has now found a way to escape. Zeus is now asking Prometheus to help him defeat Typhon. So Prometheus starts narrating a story about a champion, a hero by the name of Phoenix, and that's you.
Laying with horses, he died sad and alone.
Look on the bright side. At least the horses he lay with gave birth to the centaurs.
Sexy horse people that make us ask uncomfortable anatomy questions. Try again.
Because the acting is so corny, without those jokes, it would just be a bad story, period. The gameplay is decent. There's not a very large learning curve, as most things are pretty straightforward and pretty simple. All across the map you can find myth challenges. There are over 80 challenges in total, all of which you will need to complete to get platinum. Each region has a large lyre that you can shoot arrows at to make a music note. In the same region you will find smaller lyres that are locked behind more puzzles. You interact with it and make sure you write down the order in which the music notes are played, and then you take that to the big lyre. If you get it right, they will give you a reward. Just like that. The next kind of puzzle is called a fresco, which is an actual puzzle consisting of 4 pieces. Rearrange the tiles to complete the image. Sometimes you'll find that one of the tiles is locked and you have to unlock the tile first. The entire game is puzzles. Everything is like this. Nothing is exactly straightforward. However, I will say that most of the puzzles are only slight brain teasers and are pretty satisfying to complete. Odysseus challenges are pretty neat as well. What you have to do is stand in one spot, shoot your arrow, and follow the path all the way to the end, and then light the torch on fire. Then you're done. Navigation challenges are exactly what they sound like. You have to navigate from point A to point B before the timer runs out. And if you're playing on hard or nightmare mode, these times are shortened. And I am on nightmare mode in this example. And for whatever reason, I chickened out and didn't want to fly through the lasers. Yes, there are lasers in the game. No, I do not agree with there being lasers in the game. I hate the lasers. But I was still able to accomplish this puzzle, and that's navigation puzzles. Last but not least, constellation puzzles, which are my favorite. You have to run around and find these little blue balls, and you have to put them in the correct spot on the little floor thing, so it matches the thing on the wall thing. You'll see I need one more ball for this puzzle. And first I have to go find that ball, and then I need to unlock that ball. Here's what that looks like. How about some pros and cons here? This is probably the biggest pro for me personally. The game is super casual. For instance, constellation puzzles, they take the longest, they are the hardest, and they reward you the best. This puzzle took me maybe 15 minutes to solve from beginning to end. I could be cooking dinner and have 10, 15, 20 minutes to kill, and I can hop in and just go solve a few puzzles and then pause the game and then come back later and solve a few more puzzles, and I can easily come in and out of the game. And I'll compare it to, say, God of War, where, you know, if you don't binge it, you kind of lose track. Now, don't get twisted, Fenyx Rising is still bingeable, but you don't have to. You also have chests, guarded chests, epic chests, night chests, chests. Everybody likes chests. And they almost always require you to solve the puzzle before giving you the loot. So it's probably around this point in the video that you were asking yourself, where is this brutally honest review that the thumbnail is advertising? Well, I can't really say a whole lot in the first few minutes of the video because YouTube likes to demonetize me, and it's not that I care about the money. I don't give a shit about the money. It's that YouTube buries videos that it cannot make revenue off of. There's a few things that piss me off to no end about the game, and I don't want to call those out right now. All of my frustrations with Immortals Fenyx Rising basically comes down to gameplay and like design decisions from the developers. Here are the cons of the gameplay. I could have sworn I opened that chest. Sometimes autosave doesn't quite save as often as you would think, and the only reason I've caught that is because I have been going for platinum. I've had to go back and do a few things. I've gotten into the habit of manually saving my progress as I go. Some favors / quests are, in my opinion, lazily done and serve little to no purpose. Most of the favors and like the secret quests that you find in a world are A, not necessary, and B, don't give you shit. And it's kind of annoying. One of the things I love about this game is it is a true open world, go anywhere on day one kind of game. It is completely open. You can do anything pretty much. You're going to get yourself in trouble if you do, but that is also a con because you can miss things really easily. You could jump ahead too far or you could fall behind too far with the open world layout. Micro transactions.
Go yourself.
Even though I want some of them skins, I don't like it. I don't care for it. I don't think it has a place in games. I'm an old school gamer. Back in the day when you buy a game, it's a done deal. That's the game that you get. Here's my biggest pet peeve about Fenyx Rising. The inputs, keybinds, and just kind of general weirdness. And what I have on my notes is I've called it transitional issues. What that basically means is having to let go of one button in order to press two buttons at the same time to use godly powers. If I'm holding down the W key, and if I have to press the middle mouse button and then 3, the 2 cancels itself out. So in order to use a godly power, I have to lift my middle finger off the W key in order to hold the 2 buttons that I need to hold. And if I'm in the middle of a fight, that W key means a lot, you know? So every time I would try to use the godly power, it would cancel itself out and I would accidentally drink a potion instead because 2 buttons cancels out the 3rd button. That's huge. That's a fucking problem, man. Really though, that's bullshit. You shouldn't have to deal with all that noise. Now I ended up fixing that and I put my potions on 0 and 9 instead, but I would still accidentally sometimes drink health potions or stamina potions. I changed my controls, all of them. I can't even tell you what the defaults are anymore. You have left click, which is the sword, and the right click was actually the arrow. And I changed the right click to heavy attack with the axe. So I changed everything, and the controls made absolutely no sense. I changed them all. If you can play this game on controller, do it on controller instead. Pomegranates. You need a crap load of them. Even if you know the tricks of the trade, watch this video up here. I hate collecting them, and you're gonna need a lot. And I'm absolutely complaining. I have no feedback to the developers on what to do in the future. Okay, yeah, the solution is simple, just stop getting hit. But in Nightmare, you get hit once and it takes 3/4 of your health, so. The combat feels kind of repetitive in a way, mostly because it is repetitive, but it's not annoying enough for me to put it in the negative category. Since I do enjoy it, and I do find myself wanting more combat after I just like fight a boss. I do love the parry mechanic. I've always loved that. I think my favorite part about the combat itself is the combo counter. The combo counter is a lot of fun to push to see how high you can get it. $621 combo. They used the same models over and over and over and over, but with a different color and like more health or less health. And it's just kind of like, a little lazy, but that's okay. I understand. A lot of games do that. But I would have liked to have seen some better, cooler monsters. I don't know if this is a con, but it's mentionable. It's a side note. Sometimes you play a game, there's like certain things that you have to do so often. Certain parts of your hands that get sore, you know, depending on what it is, you know, until you get used to it. For this game, it's my thumb from pressing the space bar, from jumping so much. That's how much you have to jump in the game. If you don't like jumping, don't play this game at all. My thumb hurts. Visual customization is an amazing feature, and I wish more games would adopt it. I am wearing the breastplate of Typhon and the helmet of Typhon, and they're kind of ugly in my opinion. So if I go to my helmet, I can press F, and I can choose from any armor set that I have found along the way, and I can customize the way I look. I can make myself look ridiculous if I want. I can also give myself a beard if I want. Another thing I like about Fenyx Rising is the skill tree and the godly powers and like the currencies, quote unquote, of the game are very straightforward and very easy to understand. You have skills on one side, you have godly powers on the other. In order to upgrade them, you have to spend coins of Charon, I think it's pronounced. It says, used to upgrade skills and godly powers, awarded by completing myth challenges. It doesn't get any more straightforward than that. Something I wish that Fenyx Rising had, and it was something that God of War Ragnarok had that I appreciated, was the ability to turn off skills, like disable skills. If it was up to me, I would disable what is called the axe cleave. And here's why. Let's say I am flying like this, and I accidentally bump. I just did a ton of damage to myself. I never use this. Hardly ever. The next thing on the list that I appreciate is loadouts. Loadout 1, loadout 2, and loadout 3. And I can get into this a lot deeper in another video if you're interested, but you have to let me know down in the comments. Otherwise, I'll just probably never do it. I would like to see one more loadout slot though, because there is another set of armor that I like to play with sometime. There are no Steam achievements for this game. There are only Ubisoft Connect achievements. And unfortunately, you will have to have a third-party software to run this game. There are 3 DLCs for the game: A New God, Myths of the Eastern Realm, and The Lost Gods. I am in the process of playing through A New God, and I fucking hate it so much. It is the worst DLC. Graphics and audio. Well, this is the graphics. I love the way it looks. I think it looks great. A cool feature, a very Ubisoft feature. You can go around and see other people's screenshots. The game is beautiful, in my opinion. It's super nice, and you can also like their photos. It's cool. The graphics are great, man. I like them. I like them a lot. Fenyx Rising is very heavy on the CPU. I have had the game crash on me a few times, maybe 3 or 4 times. I don't have a beast of a PC, but I don't have a punk of a PC either. CPU is next in line to get upgraded, but if I do that, I have to upgrade both my case and my motherboard, and I'm just putting it off. I'm sure you can understand. But yes, the game is CPU heavy. I'm not saying that I hate every vault. I dread them because there's so many that piss me off so much. I saved the best for last. Vaults of Tartaros. So think of a vault as a realm tear. Vaults are more puzzles. Most vaults require you to use your abilities, your skills, your godly powers, and physics in order to get to the end. They're the most frustrating thing in the game. Many people hate these vaults. I have come to dread them completely. The biggest problem that I have with vaults is that if you die, if you lose all of your health and you die, you have to start the vault over again. It's also easy to do what I just did to myself here and get yourself soft locked into a vault. I can't get in, I can't get out. If you fall off, it'll start you back at a checkpoint, but it'll take some of your health. If it takes all of your health, it starts you over completely. A lot of times you'll find these challenges are timed, like this one. I have to run through all this stuff, conserving my stamina. Some vaults have areas where your stamina gets drained, which is lovely. To make matters worse, the DLC that they released, A New God, is basically a vault like this with the same types of challenges, but it's in the heavens and it's 100% harder and longer. Luckily for you, and luckily for me and anybody else that does not like the Vaults of Tartaros, you do not have to do all of them to complete the game, and you don't need to do all of them to complete all achievements. But you do have to do the DLC, which is basically 24 vaults like this on steroids. It sucks. I don't really want to do it, but I need it for platinum. Oh god. Some of the vaults are ridiculously hard. I feel like they could have done something better with them. But on the flip side, you get vaults like this one that are like straight up pinball machines. Get my ball out there. Okay, I get it. I gotta break all this shit out of here. That's totally fun. I think this is probably the perfect vault to add to my video. To the review video. Perfect example of why I don't hate them all. There it is. No. Go. See, if more of the vaults were a little more fun like that, oh man, I'd love it. More vaults like that, please. As a content creator, this has been the easiest game to make thumbnails for I've ever played. It's just so easy to get thumbnails. The ability to skip cutscenes and animations that you only need to see once is a must-have for all games, period. No questions asked. I'm looking at you, Sons of the Forest. In conclusion, this game is great, man. And I've gotten not one, not two, but 3 full playthroughs in, and I've enjoyed all 3 of them. And honestly, I'm kind of sad that they're over. There's something cute, quaint, and awesome about the game. It's simple, it's pretty, it's vibrant, you know, it's satisfying. So it's got all of the things, but unfortunately no game can have everything. All that being said, I'll give this game an 8.7 out of 10. Cheers, have a good day, and I will see you in the next video.